All right, we will be covering staph epidermidis. Staph epidermidis is a gram-positive, catalase positive, coagulase negative, urease positive cocci in clusters. There's a couple mnemonics that you must know for other bugs, including epidermidis. So we're gonna go over those. Uh, my favorite one is no stress, which stands for novobison sensitive, which is staph epidermidis is novobison sensitive. So no stress stands for novobison. Staph spirophyticus is resistance. Epidermidis is sensitive. The easier way I like to remember is the bugs that cause the severe diseases are sensitive, and the ones that don't cause a severe disease are resistance. So no stress. Novobison, spirophyticus is resistant. Epidermidis is sensitive. The other one I like to use is capless, which is since staph epidermidis is a catalase positive bug, I use capless, C for candida, A for actinomyces and aspergillus, P for pseudomonas, L for listeria, E for E. coli, S for staph aureus, and S for epidermidis. It's also a urease positive bug, and I like to use the mnemonic PBK punches. That's PBKPUNCHS. P stands for protease, B for brucellosis, K for Klebsiella, P for Pseudomonas, ureoplasma, U for uroplasma, N for nocardia, C for Cryptococcus, H. pylori for H, S for Staph spirophyticus, and Staph epidermidis. If you have these two or these three mnemonics down, it's pretty easy to get a lot of the questions they'll ask you down. You get them right. Usually they give you, they might say, you know what, this is novo bison. They'll try to sneak it in there. Novo bison sensitive bug, and it's catalyst positive. There's no way to remember, which one's which, catalyst positive or negative. Um, I usually write down the mnemonics and memorize them, and I usually run them through. As soon as I see that they give me something that's catalyst positive or something on the exam day, I actually wrote down my mnemonics. Soon as I hit the first micro question, I just ran down the list and wrote down all my mnemonics on a piece of paper, and went through the mnemonic and see which one did it fit. If it fit a couple of the mnemonics and I knew that it could be staph aureus or staph epidermidis, I looked to see if that would fit the answer. Uh, that's the best way to go. Staph epidermidis is part of your normal skin flora and may contaminate blood cultures upon insertion of needles. It usually infects prosthetic devices and IV catheters by producing adherent biofilms. People with heart valves, hip implants, pacemakers, VP shunts, they're susceptible to epidermidis. It can be resistant to multiple antibiotics and initially must treat it aggressively with antibiotics pending antibiotic sensitivity analysis. Staph epidermidis isolates uh, are susceptible to in vitro to vancomycin and rifampin are frequently resistant to methicillin. Therefore, vancomycin combined with rifampin or gentamicin or both is recommended for therapy of serious infections caused by methicillin. Staph epidermidis it usually causes foreign body infection. So it creates a biofilm. Once foreign body is introduced, it quickly is coated with host proteins, including fibrinogen and fibronectin. These proteins are then serve as binding sites for staph epidermidis. After attachment occurs, the bacteria multiply and communicate with one another to induce synthesis of an extracellular polysaccharide matrix that encases the bacteria. The resulting biofilm functions as a barrier to antibiotics and host defenses, including opsonization, neutrophil migration, and even T lymphocyte activation. These biofilms can disperse individual pathogens, seeds, which are known as planktonic cells, into bloodstream and surrounding area, further disseminating the infection. Right here is a little diagram of how this works. Uh, this brown right here could be any foreign body, uh, whichever it is, it could be a catheter or whatsoever. And when the epidermidis gets into the skin, it finds these catheters and it attaches them, it irreversibly binds, and then it starts growing on them. Then it creates a polysaccharide production. This yellow is polysaccharide, the biofilm, so called. And then that actually matures into a multicellular mass, and that protects it from host and antibiotics. And then once this mass matures, it starts breaking off these little pieces right here, and then it also releases the planktonic cells, and these cells can go elsewhere and start the infection again. Not much to know about epidermidis, as long as you know that it's IV, catheters, VP shunt, any foreign body. It's easy to get this question right. Not much they're going to ask you on it, as long as you knew the mnemonics, and you're able to. They might throw you off that a lot of the books don't really say that it's a urease positive bug, but it is. So they might say urea is positive, and if this you haven't read it somewhere, you might not be thinking that it's epidermidis. So it's important to go through this and know the mnemonics associated with epidermidis to get these questions right.